So my studio is above my garage here in Seabrook, South Carolina. I'm about an hour and 15 minutes south of Kiowa, so I'm not Seabrook Island, but Seabrook, South Carolina, about 20 miles west of Beaufort. So kind of starting over here where you walk in, I've got a shelf just kind of full of different objects that I use in my still life paintings. And then corner samples for frames, trying to find that perfect frame for each painting. A lot of books, art books that I use just for inspiration that I've collected over the years when I'm either trying to find inspiration or problem solving. They're great reference material. Some of the books I use in my still life paintings, the bourbon paintings. Of course, camera. And here's the bourbon shelf. I keep trying to get this more populated because I want to do like a 30 by 40 of 25 or 30 or 35 bourbon bottles. But every time we're out in the house, we always come up to the studio and rob one of the bottles. So it's getting there, and I hope to start on the big one here in the coming year. Just a bunch of supplies, and then a lot of this is work in progress. A couple pieces here. The Adirondack chairs are headed to Wells Gallery for the Traditions show coming up. Just my table with all important music and monitor and various paints that I use. Again, more supplies. I thought I had a big enough studio, and I think you could double this and I'd be okay with it. So this is my palette. It's pretty interesting. My father-in-law made that chest when he was 16 years old, and it had sat in his father's house until he passed away, and so I asked if he could modify it and put a glass top on it, which he did. So that's solid glass, and then it serves as great storage. We put some wheels on it, and then got a little storm painting. Kind of an experiment. I tend to start out small and see where it's going to go. Just a work table with a bunch of reject towels from my mom that I would never put in my house, but they're fine to paint on. Getting ready to mount a piece of linen here to some Baltic birch for a bourbon painting. The studio is definitely in working status right now because I have a ton of work going on. I've got 4 bourbon commissions I'm doing right now. This one's for a client in Beaufort, actually. I'm pretty excited about this one, just if nothing else, for that Japanese bottle of whiskey. Great graphics on that. And then the next 3 are all for Wells Gallery clients. That's a Blanton's. And then, I always start out, all of these are always painted from life. And I draw it out freehand in charcoal first, kind of get things settled before I commit to paint. A lot of people may not know I do a lot of figurative work. It just makes you a better painter. And I don't do portraiture, but I kind of keep this wall just filled with different ideas, experiments, paintings that I thought were very successful. Here's a big nocturne that's headed to the Wells Gallery. That's from Mingo Point. And then we've got 2 more bourbon commissions. I'm still kind of working out the compositions and the layouts. There's a Pappy Van Winkle. Anxious to do that one. I've done one, and so I'm looking forward to do another one. And then another one, a Blanton's. It's going to kind of be a golf theme. If you haven't gotten the latest issue of Art Collector magazine, there's a great article in there on our upcoming group show at the Wells Gallery, the Kiowa Traditions. And that's pretty much it. Great view out my window of the gorgeous live oaks in South Carolina. But that's where I pretty much work every day. And look forward to seeing everyone in the gallery, hopefully sooner rather than later. Thanks for taking a look.